My name is Hannah and this is my beauty budget. It's time for another empties video. I'm afraid that I still sound rather froggy. This is the first day since I got sick at the mall that I haven't actually felt really too sick. I feel like at a normal energy level, but I know that you can still hear it in my throat and I still have a cough. So I hope it's not too annoying, but I had to film. I'm here. Another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm wearing another piece from Rent the Runway today. This is kind of the coziest thing that I got. I have to stand up to show you. It says Je m'en fous, which means I don't care in French. It means I don't care. And I really love that because, I mean, obviously I care about a lot of things. I really do care. But I once read a book, it was like one of those secrets that French women know about life, or like how to be happy by acting more French or something like that. I didn't really read the book. I think it was one of those situations where I read the whole thing in the bookstore, standing up, leaning against a corner. Actually two things stuck with me. One thing that stuck with me is to always have champagne on hand, which is actually something that I do now. We always have champagne in the fridge and it's great. Whenever anyone comes over, we can be like, do you want some champagne? So I totally adopted that. What the author of this book apparently said is like a French thing. And I also have a really strong memory of a chapter in the book that talked about the I don't care attitude. Like, my ex-boyfriend has a new lover, I don't care. Gained 5 pounds, I don't care. Trolls in my comments section, I don't care. I haven't always done the best job of remembering that I don't care, but when I saw this sweater on Rent the Runway, I just had to rent it, and it is incredibly cozy. I also posted about it on my Instagram page. It's by the brand Zadig et Voltaire. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. Zadig et Voltaire, Zadig et Voltaire, Zadig et Voltaire. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. As always, we're going to start with hair care, move through body care, then to skincare, and I do have a couple of makeup items at the end. So for hair, it's all little sample sizes actually this month. There are these two little minis of dry shampoos, I guess they both are. This is Dry Bar's Triple Sec. It's supposed to be a 3-in-1, like a amplifies, refreshes, texturizes is what it says. This is a product that I've had a couple of times as a mini, like as a sample size like this. It's handy to have on hand. So whenever I get the chance to use like 100 points to get it as a mini, I do that, but I wouldn't buy it. I don't like it enough to buy it, and I definitely don't like it enough to buy it at Dry Bar prices. And I'd say the same kind of goes for this. This is an IGK multitasking dry shampoo. It's the one called Direct Flight. I believe it's like the medium weight one. It's not like the super intense charcoal one, and it's not the one for fine hair either. And same thing, it's nice to have a little mini of a dry shampoo on hand, and I would be happy to accept this as a point perk again, but I wouldn't buy this product as a full size and I wouldn't pay full price for it. This was a little mini of the Bumble & Bumble Sumo Clay, and this is the product that I got Joe to test for his hair that he ended up liking the most, and I ended up getting him a full size of this. So it's a really dense kind of clay textured texturizer, and he has like nice, thick, slightly tousled hair, and I think this helps him feel like he's having a little bit of control over it, but without it looking too slicked back or kind of too overdone. It's like the I woke up like this product for short hair. I mean, in my life, it's the I woke up like this product for boys, but obviously for anyone with that length of hair, I think this would work really well for. Joe really likes it. Still sicky. And then lastly, this is a little sample size of the Way, it's all worn away, but it's the Way hair oil, and it's like a rose hair oil. This is a gorgeous product. This is a gorgeous product. I would jump at getting another sample size of this if it ever came available, but again, I'm not gonna spend my budget on the like probably $20 or $30 that a full size of this costs, especially because I always have an all-purpose oil, like a marula oil, kicking around in my skincare, and I use that for my hair, and it works perfectly well for my hair. I don't need a dedicated hair oil. But as a treat, as a delight, this is a really lovely product. All right, moving on to body care. I replaced in the beginning of December my one body wash. I'm down to only having one body soap in the house, which is amazing. This is how I want it to be for all categories of products pretty much, especially kind of more utilitarian products like body soap. So I ran out of body soap. I just looked it up. It was in July of the no-buy year. It took until July for me to get through all of the soap that I had when I went into the no-buy year. And when I ran out of soap, I decided to buy one of these. This is what I bought. It's the largest size of the Lush body wash. This was It's Raining Men. It's a really honey, sugar, vanilla scented one. It's delicious. It's wonderful. I loved having it, and it felt luxurious the whole way through. I didn't get tired of it, and it lasted me 5 months. I just looked it up. I looked up when I got this and when I ordered the next one. So that means I'm going to be buying about 2 of these a year, maybe the third one within a calendar year, but it'll last me for about half a year, each one of these. And they cost, depending on the scent that you buy, depending on the type that you buy, somewhere around $35 or $40. I think more like $35. I may have paid $40 because I ended up paying for shipping, but to me that's worth it. I think to have a really beautiful, luxurious, good for your skin body wash that smells super good, that feels like lovely to use in the shower, and kind of less than $80 for the year total, 2 bottles of these, I'm here for it. I replaced this with one of the seasonal scents, the one called Sleepy Time, or Sleepy. I think it might just be called Sleepy. It's kind of a unique and exciting and dusky feeling lavender scent. It says there's lavender in it, but it doesn't have the traditional essential oil lavender scent that we know. It has more of a bergamot, dusky, comforting, delicious scent. I really like it. I really like the Sleepy Time scent, and it's nice to have a little variety. I also replaced my toothy tabs from Lush. I just ran out of these also in December, I believe, and I didn't look this one up. I can't remember how long these last me. I think I remember figuring it out before. They obviously don't last as long as a tube of toothpaste, but it doesn't add up to so much more money per year than a tube of toothpaste that I would begrudge myself these toothy tabs, because I really, really like brushing my teeth with them. So I actually didn't replace this flavor with this flavor. I went with the lime flavor. I think it's called Limelight, just because I like variety. I think Boom is my favorite, but I'm enjoying Limelight too. If you don't know about the toothy tabs, they're like little pills, and you crunch them up between your teeth and you brush your teeth with it. So it's kind of like brushing your teeth with candy, and I'm into it. I think that's it for body care, but let's move on to face products that are also for cleansing. So I ran out of my Simple Cleansing Oil, which is my favorite cleansing oil and very inexpensive. It's about $7 for a little one of these, and one of these lasts me almost 2 months. And I replaced this with another one like this. This is what I currently have. But I've been hearing rumors all over the internet that this product is being discontinued. So I will continue to replace this with itself for as long as I can access it. I'm not gonna go out and buy a bunch of backups. I just don't like the idea of having backups. Even if the one I have now is the last bottle I can ever have, that's okay with me. I'll find something else. I'm not one to buy out the store and have 10 lined up in my closet. I just don't like that feeling. I value my space. I don't want boxes full of product, unopened product, aging in my closet. So I didn't panic when I heard that this was being discontinued. I just took note, and I'm starting to think about trying to find something to replace it, possibly trying to make my own, or to find like a plain oil that will work. The main ingredient in this product is grapeseed oil, so I might sort of do some research about that. But the last time I checked, this was still available, I believe, on Amazon, and so you might still be able to get it if you're interested in trying it, but I'm pretty sure that it's not long for this world. I replaced my Clarisonic brush head, and I realized that I haven't been talking about my Clarisonic really at all this year, and I didn't talk about it in my recent video about how my no-buy year changed my skincare routine. I only use my Clarisonic on photo shoot days because those are the only days on which I wear a full face of foundation. And when I have foundation all over my face, I feel like even an oil cleanse and a soap together can't really truly get my skin really clean. So that's what I like the Clarisonic for. I also appreciate that it's a little bit of gentle exfoliation, physical exfoliation once a week, because that's how frequently we do photo shoots, once a week. Because I only use it once a week, I don't wear out the brush heads as quickly as I think people who use it every day or every other day. And I purchased this Clarisonic, the one I currently own, the Mia, almost exactly 2 years ago, because it was during the holiday sales at the beginning of 2017. So I've been using it for the past 2 years. And when I purchased it, it came with 4 replacement brush heads. And then I think it also came with a brush head. So it took me 2 years to go through 5 brush heads. So I was replacing it a little bit more frequently than every 6 months. But the last one, they were all different kinds. The last brush head was the one that's actually in here. It's the deep pore brush head, the blue one. It's the densest one, and it's supposed to be the one that kind of like gets in and scrubs out your pores. This is the first time I've had the deep pore brush head, and I put it onto my Clarisonic. The old brush had gotten really, really splayed and worn out, and I started using it, and I noticed that I was getting little bumps on my skin pretty much every time I used it, and I think it just doesn't suit my skin. This brush head doesn't suit my skin. And I've heard of this before. I've heard of the deep pore brush head being too intense for some skins. So I decided to stop using it. But it was so close to the end of the year that, and I hadn't really used this up. I hadn't really like used it. If it were the middle of my no-buy year, I might have felt like I could get rid of this and replace it with one that would work. I think that would have been within my rules, but it was so close to the end of the year that I was like, I'm not even gonna try to solve that problem. I'm just gonna wait and buy it in January. So that's what I did. I recently bought the one that came in this box, the Radiance brush head, and I put it onto my Clarisonic, and I'm going to be getting rid of this deep pore cleansing head. So I popped it into my empties, even though it's not empty, it's just a brush head that didn't work for me. Here's a truly empty thing, my bottle of Bioderma. Actually, this was a more exciting, I've replaced this a bunch of times on my channel. It's been in my empties a bunch of times, but this time something exciting happened, which is this. I went to order this, to reorder it, and it's like they didn't have it or something. I usually order it from Amazon, and I really like the one with the pump that you can press down on it. I didn't want to get like a squeezy bottle. I know I could have gotten a bigger one and like I could have gotten one and like poured it into this bottle, but I didn't want to do that either. It's like either way you're getting a new plastic bottle, and this has potential to kind of get dirty over time, and I would just rather recycle this one and get a new one. But they didn't have any kind of Bioderma with the pump available on Amazon. I kind of think it goes in and out of stock. So I ended up getting a different micellar water. I got this one. It's the brand Marcel. And my friend Tara, who was the first subscriber ever to send me anything in the mail and totally shocked me partway through the year, and you guys heard all about it, she sent me in that package a Marcel product. It was a face cream, and I didn't end up using it because it had a lot of mineral oil in it, and try not to put mineral oil on my face, so I actually ended up passing that along to a friend. But I was like, well, if Tara supports Marcel as a brand, and I did research the ingredients of this, and it sounded good. It sounded like something that would be good for me. It's the dry skin one. It's like the moisturizing micellar water from Marcel. So I was like, I mean, Tara didn't recommend this product, but she obviously thinks that the brand makes good products. So I went for it. I decided to get this, and I really like it. I definitely don't feel any kind of way about it separate from how I feel about the Bioderma. I think it's perfectly great, and I think it was about the same price. I would say in the future I'll purchase from Amazon whichever one is less expensive at the time of ordering, this one or the Bioderma. Okay, so that was all the face cleansing stuff, and here there's this big stack of masks. I do have something to report about the masks. This was one that I used that was also a gift. It's the My Beauty Diary Imperial Bird's Nest mask, which I really like, but it's too small for my face. I still used it and it was perfectly fine. I just wouldn't go out of my way to buy these ever because they're they're so small. They're like small this way. But when I reordered my sheet mask pack, which is the way in which I replaced my sheet mask by ordering like a big pack from Amazon, my desire for variety got the better of me. I've been ordering the same pack of sheet masks for the whole no-buy year ever since I ran out of sheet masks the first time. I found a pack that I really liked on Amazon, and I think I've ordered it 3 times over the course of 2018. And I went to order it again and I was just like, I want something different. I just wanted something different. I decided to try a different kind of sheet mask. So I ordered this pack. This is from Glam Up. That's the name of the brand. It was about the same price, $10, $15 for about the same number of sheet masks, 15 or 20, I think, something around there. Less than $1 a mask. And I liked the colorful packaging. It had really good reviews, and so I just thought, why not? I bet they're great. And they are great, but I don't like them as much as the other ones that I was ordering before. And that is because the mask itself is very thick, very, very cottony and very thick. And that was one of the reasons that they had good reviews. People were like, the mask seems like super high quality. It holds a lot of serum, which is probably true, but I find it kind of hard to get the whole thing to adhere in a smooth layer to my face. It's just so thick that it kind of boinks up a little bit around the edges. And I guess I prefer like a thin sheet mask to a thick one because I like being able to vacuum seal it to my face, and I like being able to walk around and do stuff and sit up and read and write and work while I'm masking. So I won't buy this pack again, but I do have a number of them left. I'll go through the rest of them. Of course, they're perfectly fine. They're just not ideal in every single way. I went through my first tub of the CeraVe Skin Renewing Night Cream, and I still really love this product. I ordered another one. I replaced it with itself. It's still my only night cream. It's what I use at the end of my night routine to seal everything in. I don't buy it for any active ingredients that are in it, although it does have niacinamide in it, which is nice. I buy it for its physical properties, the fact that it kind of seals in everything and that it stays on top of my skin overnight and I can still feel it on my skin in the morning, kind of like creating an occlusive layer to keep the moisture in and to keep the products in, the active ingredients in. I looked up when I had ordered this and when I ordered the next one, and I saw that it lasted me only 2 months. And I believe that when I calculated out the cost of my skincare routine, I had optimistically counted on this lasting me 3 months or about 3 months. So I'm not quite happy with that. And I think what I'm going to do is try to adjust how much I'm using. I feel like I'm really, really using a lot. I've been very liberal. It's a small jar physically, but it's a lot of product. It's 1.7 ounces, which is more than you get in a lot of jars of night cream like this. So it's not the problem of how much product there is. I think it's the fact that I do like to be liberal with my night cream, but I think that I was in a frenzy because I was excited about how inexpensive this is, and I actually just went quite overboard. I think I really did use too much on a number of evenings. So I'm gonna scale it back a bit with this and see if it's still as great as I have been thinking that it is, if I can make the jar that I have last 3 months. We'll see. I finished my bottle of Luna, and I got in right under the wire. I finished it in December, and right before December ended, I ordered the Jordan Samuel Etoile oil with retinol as a replacement during my no-buy year instead of having to order it in January and having to account for it with my budget. So I was actually really excited when I realized that I had used up the last drops of this and it was still December. I was like, yes, I'm gonna place that replacement order as quickly as I can. But what that means is that I've been using this now for, I think, about a week. I think it arrived about a week ago, and it's absolutely spectacularly lovely. I am hoping that it will last the year. If I use it at the same rate that I was using the other one and I exchange it with my salicylic acid oil, changing like night after night, I'm like, I can't talk with my voice and I also can't talk with my words today. I trade off. So I do this one night and I do the UFO oil the next night and vice versa. And if I keep doing that, this should last the year, judging by how long the half ounces have been lasting me. So the other thing that was cool about this that I wanted to share with you guys is that now that I've priced out all my skincare and accounted for how long it all lasts. When I got this in the mail, I opened it and I was like, hello, you're going to be with me all year. Like you are here for my whole year. You're gonna last me a year. I'm going to treat you well. I'm just gonna use 4 drops at a time and I'm gonna love you. I feel like having a sense of how long something will last when it arrives and having that kind of sense of conservation and of using it with care is going to make my skincare routine itself more meditative and more enjoyable and healthier in a sort of psychological way and a psychosomatic way. And that's actually also true of the CeraVe product. Now that I know that I want it to last a little longer than it has been lasting, I'll take a little more care, I'll be a little more mindful when I'm applying it, and I think that that will be healthy for me in more ways than just in terms of the health of my physical skin on my face, if that makes sense. So I really I'm enjoying kind of like the new way of looking at my skincare routine now that I've figured out everything that I figured out when I filmed that video about skincare. I had a second little sample size of the Youth to the People Maki and Acai Prickly Pear Goji oil. Again, a gorgeous oil. I absolutely love it and too expensive for me to buy. I finished this little sample size of the By Terry Baume de Rose lip treatment. This is kind of like a favorite cult lip treatment, and if you buy I got this as a free sample, but if you buy it, like the full size, it's like $60 or $80, something ridiculous like that, and it's perfectly fine, but I would never buy it at that price. It's just completely absurd. I mentioned before on here that I would use this as a sleeping treatment, and sometimes I would wake up in the morning after having applied this and it would taste like dirt kind of, and I didn't like that at all. It certainly worked to keep my lips moisturized. I mean, it did not work. It did not do what a lip treatment is supposed to do, but I'm never gonna think about it again. I had this little thing, the honey potion, the pharmacy honey potion mask, and this is a really nice mask. I've had a little sample size of this in my empties before, and in fact, the friend who gave this to me, I think gave it because she had seen me talking about how much I like it, and she had this little sample size that she wasn't using. So thank you, Elizabeth. I had an interesting time with it this time. I think the first time I used it was a time when my skin was feeling a little sensitive, and I felt that the heating, it really heated up my skin and almost irritated my skin. Like I remember when I washed it off after using it the first time, because I got 2 uses out of this. After the first use, I feel like my skin was red and flushed and maybe a little bit, not irritated like bumpy, but just a little bit not calm. And so it took me a while to get around to using it the second time. And when I used it the second time, it was because I was feeling like my skin was a little bit grubby. Like there was stuff in my pores, I was getting some little bumps. I felt like my skin needed to be kind of cleaned out a little bit. And so I put it on and I rubbed it and I rubbed it. And I was worried that I was gonna have that irritating effect that I had remembered from the first time. But the second time, when I washed my skin off, it was lovely. And I felt like it was smoother, it was calm. It was like it had calmed down my skin the second time. So that's really interesting. I feel like it speaks to the power of kind of observing the state that your skin is in before you use certain kinds of powerful skincare. And I do think honey is a really powerful skincare ingredient. This is a lovely product, but again, I'm not that into masking anymore. I'm not planning to buy any masks at all in the year of 2019, so I wouldn't buy this. But if you are really into masking and you often feel like you need your skin to kind of be calmed down from blockage, I guess this is something that you could consider looking into if it's worth the money to you and if it's in your budget. I went through this bottle of Pixi Skin Treats Rose Glow Mist and I loved this product. I purchased this, it must have been the beginning of September because we were in Portland for the Tango Festival when I purchased it. And I think I ran out of it at the end of November, beginning of December. I was without, no, it must not have been, it must have been later than that. It must have been mid-December. So that's pretty good. I think it was $15 and it lasted for 3.5 months. Maybe I could have stretched it to 4 months depending on, I was using it kind of liberally. So that works out to a pretty decent price per year, $45, $50 a year to keep myself in glow mist. It's a little more than I would want to spend, but I really wanted to reorder it. But I was feeling a little funny about it because I was like, well, I'm gonna pay, it's $15 and then I'm gonna pay for shipping and it's only gonna last 3 months, 3.5 months. I was feeling like it was right on the edge of being too much to pay for a setting spray this size. But when I got onto the Pixi website, I discovered this. This. They have started making the Glow Mist in a jumbo size. And I loved the Rose Glow one, but I only purchased it because when I was in the Target, they didn't have the original available. I wanted to try the original. So I was planning to purchase the original as my replacement in any case. And imagine my delight and surprise when I saw this. It's twice the size of the original. So this is 80 milliliters and this is 160 milliliters, but it's only $5 more. This costs $15 and this costs $20. So that's a way, way better price per ounce. That's a way, way better price per year for me, because if I was gonna be buying 4 of these roughly per year, and now I can switch over to buying 2 of these per year, that's way better. So I'm excited and I do love it. It has a much more herbal smell than the Rose Mist, which has a more floral, obviously, smell, but it still has that glow. And I really love the sprayer. I heard somebody recently on YouTube complaining about how intense the sprayer is on these, but I love how intense the sprayer is. So I'm really excited. I feel like this is absolutely now my go-to setting spray. I don't feel like I have to keep looking. I don't want to keep trying out other ones. This is, for me, an excellent price for the size. It's like a beautiful drugstore price setting spray for me, and I'm gonna stick with this one from now on. All right, we're down to the makeup products. I have a couple of makeup things. There's this mini of the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. It got better. It got better. So I reported in another video that I didn't like this, that it was just hard to get my lashes to do anything except for be wet and kind of clumped together. And a lot of you were sad and you said it was your favorite, and I gave it a good faith effort. I genuinely did use this until it was used up. I used it up. And what I used it for was lengthening. This does not treat my lashes well if I go in on bare lashes with this, but if I go in with a different mascara and then I use this just on the tips for lengthening, it's great. But it got better and better as it got drier and drier. At the beginning, it was so wet, it just was untenable for me. It didn't work for me. And it didn't work for my lashes. And it also doesn't work, I think, maybe for the style, because I like my lashes to be really kind of full and long and almost false looking. Really, really sort of spidery and webby and stuck together, but with lots of volume and bits of fluff flying everywhere in them. Spider webs and spiders and splink, splink, splink. So this didn't do that. I think that this is maybe designed for a more feathery, natural look. And I have a full size that Jennifer gave me. So I'm gonna keep trying with the full size. I'm gonna see if it dries out. I'm actually gonna keep trying to see what you guys see in it. And at the very least, I'll keep using it as a lengthener, a finisher mascara, and I'll try to get good use out of that full size. At this point, I definitely wouldn't buy this. I'm not excited about making my way through the full size one, but I'm gonna keep at it. So if you guys have thoughts about this, if anybody loves this and you think that there's something I don't know about what makes it work best, then let me know, because I do have the full size and I'd like to get some good use out of it. Okay, and my other thing that I finished was this. It was the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. And this was actually given to me by a friend who had just opened it and used a little bit. I think she had maybe used about a quarter of it. So I just had the other 3/4 to use. This has historically been one of my favorite lid primers, and I actually have another one that I'm working on. It's what I have now for lid primer. When she gave this to me, it was the second one. I came into the year with an unopened one. I was using that Urban Decay primer potion, and then I had a backup lid primer for reasons I won't get into right now because I usually don't buy backups, but I had a backup lid primer, and so this was then like a backup of a backup, but I decided to go through this one first because it was already partly used. So I used it up, and what it strikes me to tell you is that I used it up way faster than the Urban Decay one. There's something about the packaging, even though they're about the same size. This packaging where you squeeze out a bit from the tube itself instead of taking it out with a wand. I use more product with this every time I use it, and I used it way faster. That Urban Decay one lasted well over a calendar year, I would say. And this probably just lasted some months. I mean, really just some months. And I know it wasn't totally full, but honestly, I just can tell. I can tell I'm using way more product. There's excess product every time I use it. It's hard to only squeeze out the amount of product that I actually need. And for that reason, and also because of the price, I don't think that I'll purchase this again, even though it's kind of been my tried and true. It's been the one that I keep going back to because I like the texture and I like the performance of it. I'll actually probably try out a drugstore one because that's just my jam now. I definitely don't need to be paying. I've heard that there are drugstore lid primers that hold onto shadow really well. It's not one of those categories where people are going around saying that you need to get a high-end one if you really want it to perform. I've heard rave reviews of the Milani one, so that's kind of the one I'm considering trying next. I don't think that I'm going to continue to be a high-end or luxury lid primer girl after the second one of these that I have runs out. But if you are, and you're considering this one, I do think that it performs well. So my review of it is that it's a good product. It's just not right for me when it comes to cost effectiveness and honestly, like the amount, the way the packaging works and the amount that I get out. It's not for me when it comes to efficiency. And that is it. Those are my empties for the month of December. I feel like things are really calming down and kind of smoothing out when it comes to the flow of product through my life. A lot of the things in this video were the only one that I had, and I was using up that one and showing you the empty of that one thing, the only thing I had in that category. Like I showed you my empty bottle from my one body soap and my one micellar water, my one cleansing oil, my one setting spray, my one night cream. A lot of these things were just, I had one, I used it up, and I replaced it with one more. And that's the life that I want for most products, especially, as I said before, these kinds of utilitarian products, things like cleansers and sprays and night creams and things like that. So there's just such a marked difference for me doing this empties video, my first empties of my beauty budget year, than there was doing the empties video that I did at the beginning of my no-buy year when I was just tearing through a bunch of random extra stuff that was lying around, little bits and pieces of samples and minis and extras and things that I didn't truly love and that I hadn't really thought carefully about acquiring. So this is way better, and I feel like this is a good empties video with which to kick off the year. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. I really appreciate you watching this video and spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will remember to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.